right, we are recording. And just in case, I thought I would turn on something. Can I turn on? I think I can. I'm going to turn this on and see if I don't know what it's going to do, but I do know that I do have some students, and I don't know in this class. I don't know which class it's in, but I thought I would add. Can y'all see the closed captioning on your screen?
I don't think so.
Yes, no, maybe.
I don't think so.
Okay, well, it must be recording it off of my screen. I don't know.
Can y'all see it?
No.
Anyway, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I'll show you what it looks like. That's what it looks like right there. It looks like it's on the bottom of the screen. So I don't know. Y'all may not be on the screen that it shows. I don't know. But I thought about turning that on yesterday since I got that email. And I'm going to turn this off. And we do have 16 now, so I think we're real good to go. All right, so I'm Hubert McClure, and y'all probably knew that because, you already knew I was going to be your teacher. And this is Math 120, and I have been teaching for close to 25, if not over 25 years. Can anybody guess how many students I've had to throw out of my class? Anybody?
A lot.
103.
Three. 3 students in 25 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know why? Because I treat students the way I want to be treated. I don't have to deal with some of the. I call my son. No, I don't. I tell my son he's at Westside, and my daughter just graduated Clemson. You have to say it with a Z, so you don't say it with a P. Anyway, I don't understand that. The whole thing is, my son, I have to warn my son of the DAs, and that's the students that don't act the way they're supposed to in class, and I have to warn my son to stay away from them because you don't want to be around those people. And I try to teach in my class, and I try to convey to my students that if you treat me with professionalism, I'll treat you with professionalism. And you know what? It works. And I've only had to throw out 3 people in 25 years. And those guys, and they were all guys, they had issues. They all had issues. So we won't talk about that. Let's see how many videos I got going now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I got 13. I got 3 people that don't have their videos on. Is that correct? Somebody say something because I need the videos on that way, and I don't want to see the ceiling. Okay? So make sure you turn. Thank you so much. Let's see how many we got now. 1, 2, that's 12, 13, 14, 15. No, 14. We still got 2 people that don't have their videos on. I don't want to have to run through the names and find out who they are. So if you don't mind, go ahead and just turn on your videos. I appreciate it because at Tri-County, if you are in a virtual class, if I don't see your face, or, technically you could you could do this and you could leave the room and not even be in class. All right. So that's why we don't let students do the ceiling thing. So do we have 2 people that, and let me go ahead and show you some of the things on the screen here. If you look, there's some buttons up here. I don't know how familiar you are with Teams. This button shows how many people, I don't know if you have this button or not, but that shows how many people are in the class. This button right here engages the chat. Hello. And I can also send an attachment. And that's the good thing about Teams. I can send an attachment. Let's see, where can I? And where's my locator card? There we go. And I will send that to y'all just to send it to you. And it should pop up in your conversation. I can send a hyperlink, www.ratemyprofessors.com. And I can send basically anything I want to through. I could send a GIF. How do you pronounce it? Is it GIF or GIF? I don't know. I think it's GIF, isn't it? I don't know. But anyway, the whole point is you can send stuff through the conversation. All right, everybody with me? Comprende? Comprendo? Whatever. Comprende? I don't even know how to spell it. All right, so when the conversation, and we still got 1, 2, 3, 4, we still got 2 people that hadn't turned the videos on. So right now I need those 2 people to tell me why they don't have their videos on so I can write it down. Do you not have the videos on because you don't have a computer, or what? Are you sitting in the room with other students, or what? Okay, I opened up the conversation, so that means you can type. Okay, I guess is there 2 people in there that's not communicating, or what? Somebody tell me.
We're moving rooms right now.
Oh, you're moving rooms.
Yes, sir.
I'm too loud, aren't I?
I guess so.
That's why you need to wear your earpods, or whatever they're called. This will be y'all meeting spot.
All right.
Where y'all moving to?
Another room.
Okay. Thank you for communicating. I appreciate it. I don't know why they didn't tell you to wear your earpods. You hear that ringing? That ringing is feedback. That's why you need to wear your earpods, especially if you're going to sit close to each other. So are y'all in like a satellite room off the library, or what?
Yeah, we're in another room in the library.
Okay. Try to sit apart if you can. And does anybody know where my 2 people are that don't have their video on? Okay, there's 16 people in the class, and there's only 14 people with videos. Okay, so I guess they're just not going to tell me. Okay, well, that's the way it's going to be. That's the way it's going to be. All right, everybody situated now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you've got this conversation right there. So somebody type something in so I know that y'all know what I'm talking about. Somebody type something. Oh, somebody's got their hand raised. Dickerson, you got your hand raised. Why you got your hand raised?
I don't. Do I? Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to do that.
That's all right. That's all right. I thought you had a question. Anyway, that's where we're going next. Thank you. Okay, so the next one right here, that's where you raise your hand. It's called a virtual hand. You raise it, you toggle it off, you toggle it on, vice versa. So if you need to raise your hand, if you need me to stop, the best way to do it in virtuality is to raise your hand. And if you like something somebody says, then you thumbs up. You don't know how to use emojis. That's one thing the Tide Pod generation knows how to do, emojis. Okay? Question. Gripe, complaint. Y'all need to do something spectacular because y'all are known as the Tide Pod generation. So y'all need to do something spectacular to kind of shake that Tide Pod thing, okay? Y'all need to do that. Next, breakout rooms. I'm not going to worry about that. Here's your options, your device settings, if you want to turn something on or off, if you want to switch to a bigger screen, If you want to switch to a webcam, an external webcam, that kind of thing. That's device settings and everything else. These are your views. Don't use the together mode view because it's real cheesy. That's cheesy. I'm sorry. That's about the stupidest thing I think I've ever seen in my life. And I even told Microsoft, they sent me a survey and they said comments. And I said the together in the classroom is the dumbest thing I think I've ever seen in my life. So I don't know if they're going to do away with it or not, but so I put it on large gallery. Large gallery is above 12. So if you want to switch it to large gallery, you might be able, I don't know if you have that option or not. And this is to turn off the video. This is turn on, toggle off, toggle on. And this is turn off the video. Turn off the audio. And turn on the audio. Okay, everybody good? All right, so that's that. Let me get out of that. How many of you have used Teams before? Anybody? Okay. All right, now this page right here is the post page. Okay, this page everybody can see. So if I type in hello class, everybody sees that. So you be careful if you want to chat with somebody inside the class, then you go to chat, and I'm just going to pull up somebody. Miss Ferguson was the first person that popped in today, so I'm going to PURG. I'm going to pick on her. And, oops, I'm sorry. Go to chat, hit the compose button, and PURG, it should pop up. Kennedy, right? And I will send a hello. And she should get that outside the conversation. Okay? So if you want to chat with somebody, that's the chat button right there. Teams is another way of saying class. So if you go to the Teams page, you'll only see your 120:38 right there. And then you can go in and it automatically goes to the post page, which I call the bulletin board. And this page right here is the files page. Now, what is on the files page? The files that I sent you through email. So therefore, you can't say I didn't get the email. So there's the page, and let's go ahead and go through one. Virtual rules. Now, I usually have to go with this through college because college students think that when they get to college, they can just act the way they want to. Like some of those guys did at Crescent yesterday. Basically, what is professionalism? Somebody tell me what professionalism is. That means I want somebody to say something. You got to unmute your mic first or type it in the conversation, either one. What is professionalism?
Being professional.
Being respectful of other people, maybe. Being respectful to your counterpart or your, people that you work with, okay? That's just like us, okay? I'm the employer, you're the employees. Do you walk up to your boss and tell him he's an idiot or she's an idiot? Do you walk up to your boss and tell them when you're going to work and when you're not going to work? No, you don't do that. So being professional is being professional. And all I ask is that you be professional. That means when I'm talking, you're not talking. Now, I know some of y'all are at home, and I know some of y'all are in the classroom. And all I ask is that you not talk while I talk. Does everybody understand that? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Make sure you're ready. Now, most of you are at school and you will be ready because, you know, you've got teachers there that say, okay, y'all are in a virtual classroom, y'all need to be ready. Okay. But some of y'all are at home, so I pray and I beg you to make sure you're logged in and make sure that your status, where is your status? Right here. And you can click it on and click available. It needs to be on available and you will receive my call. Believe you me, I have college students that will log in and their status will not say available and they can't understand why they're not receiving the call. Okay? So make sure your status says available. Okay? I don't really care if you mute yourself. If you are a quiet person and you have a quiet home or a quiet background, I really don't care because I want you to communicate. That means verbally or through the chat. I want you to communicate. So, you know, that is up to your environment. Raise your hand virtually. Keep your video on for attendance. And I still don't understand why I have 1, 2, 3, 12, 13, 14. I've only got like 14 or 15 people. Okay, now there's 14. Okay. I don't know why it was at 17 a while ago. Okay. I'm not going to worry about it. Anyway, let me turn that off. All right. So keep your video on for attendance, and I don't want to see this. Okay. Make sure you keep it off the ceiling, okay? Avoid distractions. Okay? If you have people in the room with you and they're talking to you, they need to get out of the room. Okay? You need to be in class. You need to have your mindset on the class. Okay? So if you have people inside the room and they are talking to you, that's not being professional. Avoid distractions in the background, please. All right. Any questions on that? That's pretty much, treat this as like, you know, your job. And some of you may not have a job, so just imagine it. Okay? So that's the handout. Let's go to hello, students. I don't need to go through that because you've already on Teams, so I'm not worried about that. Syllabus. Okay, this is a syllabus supplement. I really don't like it. I had to put my name on it, but I didn't write it. So I'm not going to say that this is, ignore the dates because I don't go with dates. I'll get to that in just a minute. The grading scale, I'll tell you that in just a minute. Now this is important. Okay, Ms. Poor, are you listening? This is very important. Make sure you print this out. This is the outline. And this is what you will be going by when you don't know what's going on, like what section we're going to be going over. This you should bring to class every day. You should print this out. It should be on the inside of your notebook. I wouldn't worry about these dates because I can tell you right now, we're not going to start math probably until Wednesday or Thursday. Okay, this class meets on Tuesday and Thursday. So chances are we're not going to start math until, and we're really not going to start math until chapter 3. Now let me go ahead and tell you this right now. Write this down for homework. And since this is homework, I'm going to write it in red. I had to get some new markers. My reds have kind of, well, so much for that. I'll just use an old red. Homework for now. Your homework for now is to read chapters 1 and 2. Okay, now there's two ways you can do that. Some of you may have bought a book Some of you may be relying on the book online. I don't care which one you use. All right. Well, how do you know which sections to read? Well, you go by the outline. Won't blow this up for you. And I don't know why this concept is so hard for people to understand. I mean, in college, I'm not talking about y'all. I'm talking about the college students. I'll get a student that will be absent today. Or let's say I go into math today and I go over 1.2 and 1.3. I will actually have a student, and I record these sessions, that is absent. Now, if you're absent for a session, what do you think you need to do to make sure that you're up with the next day of class if I record the sessions?
Go watch them.
Watch the recording and see how far I went. But I will have students that will call me up or email me and say, I missed today's class. What did you go over? Did they get a reply from me? Nope. I'm not going to sit here. Now, y'all are not college students yet, but you are taking a college course, so I'm going to treat you like college students. I'm not going to reply to you if you haven't even watched the video. If you watched the video, then you would know that I covered 1.2 and 1.3. Everybody get that? That's why the outline is so important. The outline tells you what to do. Okay? Now, what is 1.2 and 2.3 in chapter 2? That's all reading. It's all terminology, definitions, vocabulary words. You might have to do a little bit of math with the class widths and the class boundaries, but that's it. So all of this is reading material. I'd like for you to have this read by Thursday, if possible, at least chapter 1 by Thursday, because I will start class probably Thursday. Okay? Question on that. So you need to go ahead and start working on chapter 1 and 2. I will enable the homework for chapter 1 and 2. Another thing, do not go ahead of me. Now, I've assigned chapter 1 and 2. Okay? You're not going to impress me by going to chapter 3, okay? Because if I skip 2 sections in chapter 3 and you did those 2 sections, then you just did those 2 sections for what? Nothing. I have been known to skip and add sections. So I know there's somebody in here that probably wrote this book. Okay, I'd say that in all my classes, because there's always one person, one rule in life. There's always one that thinks they know everything. All right. So don't go ahead of me, because if you go ahead of me, now what does that mean? If I tell you to do chapter 1 and chapter 2, read chapter 1 and chapter 2, then that means don't go into chapter 3 as far as the homework goes. You can read all you want to, but don't go in and do the homework, because I might skip a section. And I don't want you doing extra work. Okay? So please do not go ahead of me as far as the homework goes. You can read all you want to. Capiche? All right. So let's get rid of that. Make sure you print out the outline. I would not say ignore the dates, but at the same time, please don't go down here and say, oh my God, it's 9/13. We're going to have a test, and we're only on 1.5. Okay? Don't do that. We're going to talk about that in just a second, okay? Don't do that. That's called hammying. Y'all know Hammy the squirrel? Y'all ever seen Hammy the squirrel? Y'all never seen Hammy? Oh, come on. Hammy the squirrel. Come on. Y'all seen Hammy before. I think it's Hammy, Hammy, the squirrel. Is it the squirrel or the hamster? There he is. Y'all remember Hammy now? There's Hammy. That's what some students do when it comes to dates. What's the date? What's the date? What's the date for the test? Don't do that. Please. Don't do that. Cause I'm going to tell you why. You go back here. I want you to get this handout out if you got it, and I want you to read along with me because this is important. Y'all think y'all know how a class goes. Not like mine. First day of class, which is today, we're going over classroom logistics as in the handouts. Okay, day 2, we're going to look at My Labs Math, and I'm going to show you how I use My Labs Math. And what do you do as far as test goes? Well, we're going to go through that. But on each unit test, I give you 5 to 7 days to take the test. Online. Why do I give you 5 to 7 days? Anybody want to take a stab at it? Why do I give you 5 to 7 days? Somebody type in the chat or speak up. Why do I give you 5 to 7 days? Anybody want to take a stab at it? So y'all just don't have any earthly idea why I give y'all 5 to 7 days. I don't believe that. Somebody's got to. Oh my gosh, Miss Newsom, you are a winner. Because you won't have no excuses. Oh, my grandmother died, and we went to a funeral, and the plane fell out of the sky, and the tires fell out, and the dog ate my computer. Nope. All you're going to get from me if you write me an email like that is not valid. I'm going to write 2 words, not valid. I give you 3 attempts, and I take the highest of the 3. That's a test question right there. So you might want to write that down. Why do I give you 3 attempts? Oh, I wasn't ready for the test. Well, you take it the first time, you find out you're not ready, you go back and study some more. Takes care of that excuse. I give you 90 minutes for a 50-minute test. How do I know it's 50 minutes? I'm going to explain that to you. One of the advantages of having My Labs Math is that it is used across the country. Everybody with me? Each student that does 1.1 homework question 5, they go through and they time each student in the nation doing that problem that uses My Labs Math. So after about 2,000 or 3,000 students do that one question, they average the time that the student spent on that question. They throw out the extremes. They throw out like an hour and a half. Somebody left the question and went out of the house and did something or went out of the room. They throw those out. And they keep 90% and they take an average. And when I get the test question, it'll say this question has an average of 2.5 minutes. So I make my test on the average 50 minutes. Everybody with me? Using those questions that are timed. That gives you an extra 40 minutes for the test. Why do I do this? For the excuse, I need more time. Okay? Now, I'm not saying I do have students that have legitimate documented reasons for extended time, and I do acknowledge that after they've taken the test 3 times. If they still are not satisfied, if they have documentation, I do extend the time beyond 90 minutes. But they have to take the test 3 times and show me that they can't do it, because technically they do have extra time because it's a 50-minute test. Everybody see what I'm saying? Okay? So I do acknowledge that after they take the test they take the test 3 times and they got a 65 average and they have documentation, then I will give them extra time after they've shown that they need it. Okay? Here's your thing right here. Now, wait a minute. I want to show you one more thing. What do I have right here at the end of this paragraph and at this paragraph? Why do I have that in bold letters, and why do I have it twice? Actually, I have it 3 times because I have it down here. Does anybody know why I have that in there? It's okay to speak. Ms. Ferguson, you spoke at the beginning of class. You can speak now if you want to. Nobody's going to speak.
What's the question?
Oh, God. She's not even listening to me. I said, why do I have, that's an insult, Ms. Ferguson. I just might as well quit. I think I'm just going to quit the class today. I said, why do I have zeros will be added for incomplete assignments? Why do I have that twice, and why do I have it in bold letters?
So we'll do it.
Because this is what some college students do. They will come up to me at the end of the semester, y'all ready for this? And they will say, they'll try to say, I didn't know we got zeros for incomplete assignments. I'm sorry, but I went through 12 years of school, and when I didn't do an assignment, you know what I got? I got a 0. And then I got something else at home. We won't talk about that because I'm crazy and insane and all that because I got disciplined by my father. Yeah. Anyway, the whole point is if you don't do the work, you don't get the what? You don't get the credit. It's something that we have to teach in college because for some reason, everybody just thinks they deserve a good grade just for showing up for the class. That ain't the way life works. Everybody don't get a trophy. All right? So make sure you realize that if you don't do a homework assignment, you're going to get a 0. And what does 0, this is another test question. What does zeros do to your grade?
Drop them.
It drops them. Okay? Now, I'm sorry I have to go over something as trivial as zeros. But am I the only one at Tri-County Tech that has to cover that? No. In fact, we had a department meeting a few days ago, and we were told, of course, I've always had it in here, but we were told to put this in the syllabus at least 2 or 3 times because students are coming up to us after the grade turn in and saying, oh, I didn't know, which is BS. Okay? Do y'all get zeros when you don't turn in an assignment? Okay, I don't understand why we got students coming up here going, oh, we didn't know. Yeah. All right. During the semester, your number 1 item is what? Your outline. Your number 2 item is what? Attend class and watch the videos. Now, again, I'm talking to high school students, which is a little bit more structured than a student having a hangover, a college student having a hangover Thursday morning or Friday morning, not coming to class, okay? So I'm not as worried about y'all as I am the college students, but I have to throw that in there. You have to be in class. Or, now what do you mean or? Well, let's say Mr. Scoggins, since he's burying himself in his shirt, let's say that Mr. Scoggins is sick or had a wreck and broke his leg and had to go to the hospital. Well, there's nothing I can do about that. He's going to be absent for that day, but he can go to, hold on a second. He can go to the files page after today. He can go to the files page and there will be a new folder either above or below the class materials, and it'll be called recordings. And all the recordings for this class will be in that file. Everybody with me? Okay. Now, what if you don't want to use that? Well, you can go to YouTube. I gave you this handout and the YouTube handout. Go to YouTube, you pull up Hubert McClure. You click on pink shirt, you hit playlist, and you look for, now I did this one yesterday, Math 120, 24, 2021, 10. Yours will show up right in here, and it'll say Math 120, 38, 2021, 10. It'll be right here. Now, you don't need to go to YouTube because you have them in Teams. But if you need to go to YouTube, that's up to you. Everybody with me? Okay. So you've got two ways to get to the videos. I cover myself, and that means that you're not going to have any excuses. I cannot take attendance for videos. I can take attendance for you attending virtually, but I cannot take attendance for videos. We do have a strict attendance policy at Tri-County. I'm not as strict. I do take attendance, but I don't drop anybody. The only person that can drop you is you. The only entity is Palmetto High School, your mom and dad, your guardian, Tri-County Tech. I'm not going to drop you. I'll be the last one to drop you. Everybody with me? Because I don't want to go through the paperwork. I don't want to have to go out through the paperwork, and then you decide you want to come back into the class, and then I got to do the paperwork to put you back in the class. If you don't come to class and you don't do the assignments, you get zeros for those assignments, and what are you going to get for a grade? An F. The only person to drop you is you or an entity having to deal with you, not me. I'm not going to drop you. All right, so let's go back to the middle. As you can see in your outline, the unit test always comes at the end of a what? A unit. I have to explain this to college students, okay? So when we get to 3.5 in class, what should everybody be saying to themselves mentally? We got a test coming up. I will say that in class. I will say, excuse me, got COVID. We've got a test coming up. Have y'all noticed that the flu just disappeared? Anyway, I will say we've got a test coming up. Now, what does that mean? That means, now listen very closely here. That means that the next class, I will go over a what? A pretest in class. It will be online. It will be very similar to the test that you're going to take, not the same. And I will put the dates on the test and the homework. Wait a minute, Hubert. What do you mean the homework? I put the dates on the homework. I better write this down so it will be in the recording so y'all can't say that you didn't know. I will assign dates for homework at test. Well, that means I don't know the date for the test until the the date for the homework till the test. Yeah. Why do you need the date for the homework? If you do the homework every night after I go over the section, why do you need the date for the homework? Because I want to put it off until the last minute, Hubert. That's why. People can't stand that I do this. The procrastinators, they can't stand this. They're the ones that keep asking me for a date, and I keep ignoring them, and I don't reply. Okay? The way that it works, this is the way it's supposed to happen. If I go over 1.1, if I go over 1.1 in class, then you need to work on 1.1 to the next meeting. And any questions that you can't do, you send to me through Ask My Instructor, and I'm going to show you that when we get into my lab's math. That's the way it works. When I go over 1.2, you do 1.2 homework. You send me questions, I go over them in the next class. Everybody see that? That's the way it's supposed to work. And when I get down to 3.5, that should be the only homework that you have left. That's the way it's supposed to work. 80% of you will do this. 20% of you will try to do all of it the day before the test day or the day before the homework ends. And you won't do it and you'll get zeros. Okay? I'm just telling you how it works in college. Hopefully y'all are still doing it the correct way and you're doing it, as the teacher goes over it, you're doing the homework. Okay? I don't know, but I know that 80% of my students don't have a problem with this. The procrastinators, they have a problem with it. Any questions so far? Now we're just going over logistics. We're not going over my lab's math yet. Okay? Don't be a lone wolf. You know who the lone wolves are? Usually they're male. And usually they're 15 to 21. And they already wrote the book on mathematics. They know everything. Those are the ones that I have problems with as far as this. Okay, that's the ones I have problems with. And no offense to the guys in here, because hopefully you are not fitting in that description, but that's usually the ones I have to deal with. Any questions on the lone wolves or anything like that? Don't be a lone wolf. You can be a lone wolf as far as, being a rebel and doing your own thing. But when it comes to math class, I wouldn't suggest it. Well, technically, any class. All right. Hello. I don't need to go over that. Academic calendar. Write this down. Academic calendar. Why do I attend, especially this class? Why does this class need to know Tri-County's academic calendar? Because y'all have y'all's own academic calendar, and you need to know ours because ours does not line up with yours. Let me give you an example. Let's say that you're on spring break or fall break on October the 3rd and 4th. I'm just using that. I don't know what day it is. Okay? We don't have October 3rd off. So that means you got to attend my class on October 3rd if it's the day that you attend, okay? Just because you're off at Palmetto does not mean you're off at Tri-County. Does everybody understand that? And vice versa. Right here, look at here. Fall break. Y'all see that? October 25th and 26th. I'll blow it up. Oh, shoot. Hold on. I'll blow it up. But y'all all have this. You don't need to be, there it is. October 25th and 26th. We don't have classes. Now, does that mean you don't have classes at Palmetto? No. You just don't have class with me. You understand? So you need to print this out and put some of these dates in your calendar. Another date, right here. When's our last day of class? Last day of class at Tri-County Tech is December 3rd. Y'all, that's a Friday. Y'all come on Thursday. So y'all's last day of class is December what? 2nd. I have to explain that to college students. Okay? I give you a week to take the final exam. That will be the 6th through the 10th. Everybody got that? So you need to write those 2 dates down for some of you that don't print this out. This right here should go with your outline, the second most important page. The first most important is the outline. This is your second most important page. These 2 pages, the outline and this, should be inside your notebook. Class courtesies, be professional, don't be stupid. Pretty much y'all have already read that one we went through. Okay, let's look at My Labs Math, because we only got like a few minutes. My Labs Math, I'm gonna go there. Well, I'm gonna pull, you gotta go through Blackboard for your registration. Let me go ahead and write that down. And that's the Tri-County thing. That's not my thing. I don't know why they want you to do that. For registration of My Labs Math, you have to go through Blackboard. Okay, that's not my rule. I'm going to show you how to do that. After you register, after you go through Blackboard and everything's successful, you can go to, I'll show you the website. I'll send it to y'all. After registration. I'm going to put that, there it is. I'm going to send it to you right now, but I'm going to put after registration on Blackboard, you can log in at ... And somebody tell me if you got this. Just give me a nod. You got it? Okay. So after registration, you can go to this link and put it in your history, or put a icon on your desktop that takes you right to it. You won't have to go through Blackboard. Why do you not want to go through Blackboard? Because Blackboard is down half the time. So you don't want to depend on Blackboard. So with that being said, I'm going to go to Blackboard. And here is your Blackboard. Here's what it looks like. You go down until you get to your class. Y'all are 12038. See there? 12038. Click on it. And look over here on the left-hand side. What does it say? First thing, My Labs Math. You click on it. Click on My Labs Math again. Look for your class. You won't see all these classes. Yours is Math 12038. You click on the green box. View course materials. And launch publisher website. And that's it. You might have to hit open My Labs and Mastering. You might have to hit that. And that's it. Has anybody done this already? Okay, Ms. Woodson, you done it? Did you have any problems? How long did it take you to register on My Labs Math? How long?
Probably 5 to 10 minutes, if that.
10 minutes. I have college students it takes a week and a half. Okay? All right? It boils down to this. You do what you want to do. Yes or no? You do what you want to do. If it's important to you, you will do it. If it's not important to you, it'll take you a week and a half to do something that takes 5 minutes. That's it. Now, once you get into My Labs Math, I want you to look at these 3 keys. Assignments. That's where your homework will be. Now, there's no assignments right now. I will add them, but you have an orientation you need to do right here. You can do that with your reading for homework. Okay? Student grade book. Now, what do you think the student grade book is? Your grade. I have students in college that will call me up at the end of the semester and they will actually ask me what their grade is. Do I reply? No. You're in college and you cannot hit grade book and find out what your grade is. These people have driver's licenses and they eventually procreate. I ain't kidding you. They are not, some of them, they just don't think. And e-text. That's where you go in and you can print out your book. You can read it online. Chapter 1, 1.1, e-text. And it will show you the page. So if you've got a book in front of you right now and you go to 1.1, it will look like, eventually, like this. Page 3. And you can print that out, go up here, hit the ribbon, or not hit the ribbon. There. Hit the 3 dots and go to print, and it will print out this page. I don't know why page 3. I don't know why it's doing that, but anyway. I don't know why this is showing up. Go away. There it is. And of course, you can turn the page by hitting the, and you can read it like that. Now, are y'all required to have a book or do you use the ebook? Just one person tell me or type it in. Okay, so y'all do use the ebook. So y'all probably don't have a book in front of you, correct? Okay. All right, so that's fine. How familiar, have y'all ever used My Labs Math before? Listen, I've got a son that did virtual last semester. Oh my gosh, what a cluster. That was the biggest mess I think I've ever seen. And it was District 5 at Westside or Robert Anderson. I hope y'all's is a whole lot better. I hope y'all's virtual is a whole lot better because ours wasn't. It was a mess. Anyway, I'll shut up. And there's your 3. Now, I'm going to go ahead and assign some homework for you because I want you to see how we're going to do this. And I don't have much time. I think I got like 15 minutes before y'all start going into cardiac arrest. Let me go back and I'm going to go to My Labs Math. Just give me a second to get there, okay? There we go. Y'all are right there. Let's go to assignment. I'm going to go ahead and assign all the chapter 1 and chapter 2 homework for you. But I'm not doing it because I want you to do homework. You can do it at your leisure. After you finish reading 1.1, you can go in and try to do some. But I want to go ahead and assign that, 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 that. Okay, all of chapter 1 and chapter 2 has been assigned. Now let's go in and look at it. I want to show you something. My son thought this was cool because he didn't have it. I'm like, you're kidding me. You have to do homework on virtual and you don't have these? That's ridiculous. Anyway, I don't expect how y'all learned anything or how he learned anything. All right, so now when you go to your assignment, if anybody's on there, you can see these assignments. See them right there? I'm going to pick chapter 2 because I know there's a little bit of math in there because I don't do well with definitions. I'm not an English teacher, but I do know the definitions, as far as what they mean by math. I just don't do good at the questions because they're English type questions. All right, so I'm going to pick a question. And eventually it will come up. There's the question. There's what it looks like. And it's very similar to what my son was using. It's very similar. But they didn't have this question right. They didn't have this. And that's ridiculous. The whole purpose of you doing homework is to learn, right? Well, if you don't know how to do the problem, you need to have something to help you. And that's where this is right here. Now, usually, and I'm going to write this down and I want you to write it down. There's usually 4 or 5 buttons here. Okay, there's usually 4 or 5 buttons. One is called Help Me Solve This. Help Me Solve This is a tutorial. It will tell you how to do the problem step by step. Okay? Help Me Solve This is a tutorial. It will show you step by step. Video. Video will show you a video example of the problem. A graphic tutorial will show you a graphic example by the computer. E-text, it will take you to the book and show you in the book an example of this problem. Now, my son was doing mathematics last semester virtually, and they didn't have any of this. Now, did y'all's math class virtually? Did y'all have anything like this to help you? That blows my mind. I don't understand how a student is supposed to learn if you don't have some support on the homework. But anyway, so much for, what I know. I'm just a teacher. Anyway, why am I showing you these? Because this particular problem is probably not a math problem. No, it's not really a math problem because you're not doing a lot of math. So it doesn't have these. It just has Ask My Instructor. And that's important. Why is Ask My Instructor important? Well, watch. Ask My Instructor. Let's say that I don't know how to do this problem. I type in the answer, and I believe I've got the right answer, but it says no, and then it shows me the right answer, or it shows me the wrong answer, or whatever. Whatever the case may be, you can't do the problem. Now, I know for some of y'all that think y'all know everything, that's going to be impossible, but I guarantee you there's going to be a problem that you don't know how to do in this semester. You send it to me. And if you want to put a note with it, please go over this question Thursday, because I usually have time in the next Thursday. I can't spell. Is it Thursday? There we go. Whatever. I'm not going to worry about it. Anyway, you send it to me, and boom, it's sent. The next day in class, which will be Thursday, I go to my email. Excuse me. I've got the flu. And I go to, that may be it. No, that was yesterday's. Let me go to 120. Wait a minute, I think it just came in. And there it is. How do I know that that's the problem I sent? Because I misspelled Thursday. And I click on that, and it takes me right to the problem. Well, it's already up, so it's not pulling me. It's not going to pull it up. Hold on. There, I exit out of it. Now, I click on that, and it sends me, what the heck? Just show me the problem. Why won't it pull up? Well, I don't know why it won't pull up, but it will. If it don't, I'll figure out why. That's how you send me problems. So ask my instructor. Ask my instructor. Sends Hubert my homework problem I can't do. So somebody tell me what happens if I get 4 or 5 questions or 10 questions. What does that mean to me as a teacher? Come on, you can talk. Come on.
We don't know it.
That the class don't know it. So I need to go over it again. So what am I trying to tell you as a class and ask my instructor? What? Somebody put it together for me. Somebody put it together. What ask my instructor button does to the class. Somebody put it together for me.
It helps us.
I'm sorry, what?
It helps us.
It helps you. It also slows down the class or speeds up the class depending on how many questions I get, doesn't it? So if I don't get any homework questions, if I go over 2.2 and Thursday rolls around and I look in the homework section and there's no homework from y'all, no homework questions, no ask my instructor, what am I going to assume?
We all know it.
And I'm going to go on to 2.3. So who decides how fast we go? You. Now, I'm not going to go over 25 of the same questions, okay? We're going to use a little bit of common sense. If y'all all send me number 10, I'm only going to do it one time, okay? Unless somebody says, Miss Bowen may say, I don't understand that question. I still don't understand it. And I'll do it again. And I'll do it from a different approach. Does everybody understand how Ask My Instructor works? That is that's y'all's safety valve. If you go through and do all of the, I wish I could show you. Let me pull up another question and see if I can find one. This one might have it. Here we go. This one's got textbook, tech help, how to do it on a calculator. It'll send it to a glorified spreadsheet, which you can use in homework, and ask my instructor. Let's go pull up another one. I got to lay off them Marlboro Reds. About to kill me. Same thing. Textbook, Stat Crunch, Tech Help, ask my instructor. And a lot of these, chapter 1 and 2, you're not going to see a lot of, because it's not a lot of math. Let me see if this one has it. Yeah, it's still got the same thing. Okay, so don't be shy. Don't think, oh my gosh, somebody's going to see my name and I sent a homework problem is. You know what? Just don't. Just don't. You're here to learn how to do this math, okay? And I'm gonna tell y'all a little secret. You don't know everything. I know there's some of y'all that think that, but you don't. All right? Now, who's got a question for me? I'm gonna leave it. You know, we got like 10 minutes in class. I got to take the roll. Open up. I want you to unmute your mics. Well, not all at one time. Do it as you got a question and ask me a question. I'm going to drink some vodka here. I don't even like vodka. It's Mountain Dew, okay? It's green, okay?
Is the homework graded on correction or like completion?
Correction. In other words, if you do a problem wrong, and I'm glad you asked that because that tells me like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. It's going to say you suck. There it goes. Okay? It's going to say you suck when you go in and you type in 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. You suck again. And then it's going to say, you're going to say, okay, 6. You are a loser. That's what it says. And it shows you it shows you the answer. But you can go back and do the problem again. And I bet the teacher that did this, I bet you dollars she turned off. Let me go back and check it. I hate when teachers do this. Let me go back. Hold on 1 second and let me check it. My classes, I fix them to where you can take it infinite times. And some of these teachers, they turn that off, which I think that's ridiculous. But to each their own. Let me see if settings for class. Yeah, limit number of times. Yeah, it's unlimited. So you can redo that question, Ms. Ferguson, and you change that X into a check mark if you do it right. Do you understand?
Yes.
So everybody should turn in what on homework? If you're able to go back and do it over and get it right, what should everybody turn on homework?
100.
Do they?
No.
Because of LAD, lazy disorder. Lazy attitude disorder. That's why. If you ever meet somebody that's failed my class, they either suffer from SAD or LAD. Stupid attitude disorder or lazy attitude disorder. I'm serious. Because I cover every excuse that you can give me. And the only people that's left are the people that don't want to pass or too lazy to pass. Everybody got me? With me? All right, who's got another question? I just want to force y'all to say something. That's why I'm sitting here. Miss Ferguson's already passed, so she's passed the test. She's communicated. That means she hasn't eaten Tide Pods. So let's see who else hadn't eaten Tide Pods before. Okay, everybody in here is eating Tide Pods because you don't see anything. Come on now, I know y'all have a question. So I've covered the material so well that none of you have a question. Y'all know that's not right. All right, I'm gonna pull up. Let me turn off the recording, and I'm also going to turn off the screen share.